Um, hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to Spit Talking with Talia. And in today's episode, we're going to discuss colorism, and this is why. So I actually recorded this particular episode that I'm discussing now, with this particular issue that I'm discussing now. I recorded it last week, but my audio got wonky on me, and so I was pissed off. And I didn't have time to sit here and refilm it because I go to work. I suffer from procrastination, and I decided to start filming on a Thursday, had to be to work on Friday, and I work the weekend. So there's that. So, which was beneficial because I wanted to see how the episode after that, kind of concluded everything. Nothing really changed from my point of view that we're going to discuss today. My mission is not to ever really talk about reality shows or like recapping of reality shows. I think I tried it a few years back and I wasn't the most successful at it because I really don't know how to construct a video like that. Nonetheless, not really caring. But if something stands out to me, like certain issues or whatever, certain dramas, I may want to bring to you guys and have a discussion about it. But nonetheless, this one is in reference to colorism. And Love and Hip Hop has somewhat of a history of having situations like that amongst people of color. Mona Scott, I don't know what's happened. But this is the second incident that I am aware of where skin complexions was a topic. So for those who do not know the definition of colorism, let me go ahead and define that for you. So colorism is discrimination or prejudice against individuals with a darker skin tone, often among people of the same ethnic or racial group. It is rooted in colonialism, slavery, and historical systems of oppression, where lighter skin was associated with privilege, beauty, higher social status. Now, me and my best friend had this conversation, right? Do I believe it can be both ways? Yes. So before I even go into the actual episode, colorism is definitely, I can always speak for my community. I am Black, right? I am also a Latina. Now, or African American isn't in my household. Like that's not how we were raised, right? We were raised with a Honduran culture. And colorism is huge, huge in the Latino culture, right? And then growing up as a Black woman, as a Black young lady living in the South, because I moved from Massachusetts to the South. And I was talking to my best friend, and I was letting her, we were just talking, and I was letting her know, like you could tell a big difference from how, like, boys, and at least in our case, how boys looked at lighter skinned girls versus the darker ones. The more popular girls were the light skinned ones. And I don't think I ever conducted myself in a way where I was bothered by, like, of course you have crushes on people or whatever. And like, oh my God, because I'm dark, they're not looking at me. I don't know. Sister, if you're watching this, let me know if I ever had a moment like that. But I don't recall ever having a moment where I was like embarrassed of my skin tone. I think it was more so my weight than anything. But it can also go both ways where a darker skinned person can say something negative about a lighter skinned person. So on this episode, Shay was throwing a tea party, and she was trying to get in this tea party, she was trying to get Amara and Flo to have some form of conversation about their issues. I can't even remember what the issue was that they initially had, but I think it was more so of one was sleeping with with the kid's father. So the other one was speculating whether or not they had a relationship with their husband. Messy work. And just a side note, I really don't know what the mission is anymore with Love and Hip Hop. I think At this point, they're just making up storylines because it's stupid. Because if you wanna base it on if you wanna like, discuss on what's happening in this particular season with Love and Hip Hop Miami, it's stupid. I don't know what else to say, like, it's just dumb. So, Flo is leaving her husband, right? Right? She's claiming she's divorcing her husband because her husband initially slept with her sister, right? And, but no one has signed the divorce papers yet. Lord knows. I think that was a few seasons ago where all this happened, because I remember watching it, and they're still married, right? Amara had twins, and the kid's father seems to be like real, I don't know, arrogant or whatever, and seems to lay it down wherever he can lay it down. And he so happened to lay it down with Flo, where Flo thought that that was a get back at Amara. It's so dumb. What kills me is that I don't think these people realize that they're doing way too much for whatever coin they're getting, because your kids are gonna see the foolery that you guys are doing. But nonetheless, they're at this tea party, and I really can't tell you how, like, the beef initially started. I don't know if Flo looked at Amara and Amara had said something in reference to, and if I could play the clip, I promise you I will, because I want to say I have it, and since I'm not monetized yet, oh no, I don't know if I'll be able to put it up here, but let me see. Okay, so I was able to screen record, but it's only the audio. So I'll put like stills if I can, if I'm able to even snapshot what these people look like in that particular scene, I will insert it. But let's listen to the audio. It starts off with Shay asking Amada to come sit down and have this conversation with Flo. So let's listen.
To avoid having a scene at Shay's event, pero since she's the one that wants me to have this conversation, that is doing. What's up? Cheers. Amara, darling. Yes. Would you please come to the table? Yes. I already asked her to come over here and talk to you. Let me make it clear. This conversation is because I want two of my friends to come together and talk about this misunderstanding that's been going on. Would you like to start? I sure you would not. Would you like to start? I'll start. Okay. I would like to know what's your real problem with me. Yes. The first time we met, I was at your event supporting your lipstick launch, right? Oh my God, thank you so much for coming. You look so pretty. I purchased your lipstick. You never shipped it.
Damn, Amada, if you're gonna have, I didn't even know she had a makeup line, but if you're gonna sit here and have people order products from you, it would only be right to sit here and ship the product out. I think I'd be vexed off of just that alone.
You came to my launch. You was extremely disrespectful. How was that? Offering me a loan? Because you needed it. But between us, if you need a loan, I know the problem. No, I did not need a loan. You did. I mean, you were getting evicted.
Just to talk a little bit about that. So let me know how you feel down in the comment section. Now, granted, these people they are on TV, right? There's nothing discreet about their lives. So I don't even know why people get so hell bent about stuff. And maybe Flo got embarrassed, but so there was a few episodes back where she was 3 months behind her rent. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but anyway, so she owed money, so she was about to get evicted. And then so it was someone else she has beef with. Their cousin came to her event where, she's behind rent on, came to the event to put eviction signs up. So Amada decides to sit here and ask her, hey, or tell her rather, I can help you with that. Like, if you need help, I got you. Like, let me know. Flo gets hell bent because she asked her that. Now, if you needed help on your rent and if someone appears to be genuine, it's very hard to say whether or not Amada is on the up and up all the time, because she has her shady moments. But I think in that particular time when she was asking her whether or not, she wanted her to loan her the money, I feel like she was just being genuine. Hey, if you need help, I got you. But Flo was pissed off at that. Like, girl, be mad at something, but not that.
My intentions were pure.
You came to my restaurant, you bought cake to my husband.
Yes.
You was trying to play games?
Funny enough, I could have played games, and if I wanted to your husband, I could. But guess what? I did not, and I don't care for it, because the whole time that I was with him was trying to convince him to fight for his marriage and to be with you.
Okay. And this is another thing I have a whole issue with Flo in general. Again, I think I had stated Flo is divorcing her husband for sleeping with her sister, right? Okay. She was in a relationship with a female at the beginning of this season while she's still married to dude, right? Dude is flirting with whoever. And then because Amara and him were talking, now he's my husband. It's like, pick a struggle. What is it? Do you want to leave this dude because he's a creep? Or do you want to claim him as yours and make it work out? Like, I don't understand where the beef is coming from. What is your issue? Off topic, but it's one of those those irritants in this show. It's like, okay, you're not dealing with this dude anyway. Why do you care who he deals with, regardless of whether or not it's Amada or somebody else? This dude slept with your sister.
You, on the other hand, you were with the father of my children. You wasted a great session trying to be a petty bitch. How does it feel to try to have all my leftovers? You did it the same thing with Safari, and now you did it with the fathers of my children. You honestly are not trash. You are the trash can. You try to be petty.
Let me tell you something.
You honestly should be concerned about your priorities, like your salon and your boutique that are flawed, just like your
want my life.
You are trash.
You want my life.
I do not want your life because
I'm sorry. Miss Shade was trying to get order, honey. Shade was like, listen, y'all are doing way too much and Lord have mercy. But this is what you get for wanting to discuss stupid stuff at your event. Neither one of them had to talk to each other at that time. You know what I mean? They could have went about life and not having to speak to each other about anything.
All right. You want a husband? You want a business? I don't need success.
No, guess what?
You want
my life is real.
Girl,
your life is not.
You
know why? Because your whole life is a facade. Your house does not cost $2 million.
I'm a self-made millionaire because I have businesses. Piece of all right?
You should really stop telling black women to stop loving themselves. You stop loving yourself. Selling bleaching cream.
Slap the out of you.
Okay. So initially, it really wasn't an insult to either person. And truth be told, I think that Amara in general has this sensitivity to her blackness. She's very defensive. Kind of goes back to a few episodes back where her daughter's father had said that nobody would want to be with your black ass, or nobody wants your black ass, or whatever the case is. And that hurt her. And I could understand that, especially with her being an Afro-Latina, that it's very hard. For those who don't understand, it is very hard to be seen in the Latin community, Latin world, especially when you're trying to make it in show business or whatever because of the color of your skin. Talk about colorism heavy. It's definitely heavy in that particular community than it is in, at least from the two that I'm from, in any other community. She feels some type of way about it. But in this instance, no one said anything. But I think that because Flo is selling turmeric products or whatever, and for those who don't know, turmeric does help to lighten skin. But I personally don't think that Flo is selling bleaching cream. I have not verified this. I didn't go onto her website, didn't go onto her her Instagram page to find out. But turmeric in general is a lightening agent or brightening agent.
You should really stop telling black women to stop loving themselves. You stop loving yourself. Selling bleaching cream.
Slap the out of you, bitch. You ugly as no wonder why your baby daddy call you black ass bitch.
You said what?
You.
This is a lie, you guys. This is a lie.
How do you come to an event with a whole bunch of black, beautiful women to promote women positivity, but you're out here on social media telling bitches to bleach their skin and look yellow and funky like you do, bitch.
You don't know anything about.
I knew I wasn't wrong. Because people kept debating, and I think my best friend too, she debated a little bit to where Amara started it with the whole yellow thing. She didn't. She didn't. I was rooting for her. She did not. It was Flo that started with the whole, that's why your baby father doesn't want your black ass or whatever the case is. She started it, right? That was the dig. Now, whether or not people feel like maybe I might have should have never said anything about her beauty products, but Flo went straight to the complexion. There it is.
Skincare? No, I know about being melanated and black and beautiful, bitch.
You mad cause I'm light skinned. This bitch is mad.
Why would I be mad cause you're light skinned? Bitches wish that they look like
That's
me.
how black bitches hate on light skinned girls.
Woo! Say that one more time.
Okay, Flo, I don't know if you were experiencing an outer body, I don't know. Amara? Ugly? Never that. Never. Do I feel like people probably wish they looked like her? Abso-freaking-lutely. From my understanding, Amara's natural. Everything is her, like everything, right? Except for the wigs. Some of those wigs, like Lord, I wish she wouldn't put them on. But other than that, Amara La Negra is beautiful. And I don't know if Flo felt the need to dig at her skin tone to make it seem like she is ugly. And for one, what would make her think like it was cool to even say that, light-skinned women always get hated on? Me personally, I don't feel like that was a situation there. Especially not with her. I can't say that it doesn't happen. I can't erase whatever, someone might think might happen to them in reference to them being light skinned or whatever. But in this situation right now, in this situation that happened with them, homegirl started it. Period. As far as black women always coming for light skinned women, Flo, let me tell you something. I don't know who told you that you were the flyest thing, but if people are hating on you, it's not because of your complexion. I promise you that. I promise you that. Do I think you're a bad looking chick? No, not at all. But what would make you say that? And I want to say that she did apologize for it. We're going to read that together. But come on, man, you started it. And they put at the end of this episode, you are beautiful. You belong. If you experience colorism, you are not alone. Find support and learn more at Colorism Healing, colorismhealing.com. Okay. The struggles of people who actually are affected by that. Me personally, I've never cared that much. Like, as far as light versus dark or whatever, do I know that it exists? Yes. Have family members said things to me in reference to my dark skin tone? Yes. You have moments as a dark skinned person, I can't speak for anyone lighter than myself. But as a dark skinned person, you tend to think that you are not as pretty when your complexion is brought up. Not to the point where I felt like, you know, I didn't get enough attention because of that. I mean, whatever. But I'm glad that they have a support group for it. People were actually comparing this situation in Love and Hip Hop Miami to the Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta episode with Erica Mena and Spice. Now, me and my best friend also had this debate. I don't know, like it's real crazy to me. So, if you don't know, Erica Mena and Spice had an argument. Never saw that episode to this day. Never saw an episode and what happened or what led to that situation. So, I guess Erica Mena and Spice having lunch or whatever. It got heated. Erica Mena ended up calling Spice a blue monkey or a monkey of some sort. They had a whole episode on Love and Hip Hop on how it made everybody feel because it's a racial slur or derogatory to black people because of what white people used to call black people, right? Erica Mena was fired. So the question here was, should they both be fired? Because technically it was the same thing. Now, people would beg to differ between Erica Mena not being Black. Now, it goes into a deeper conversation is Erica Mena, I think she's Puerto Rican, Dominican, she's something that she's Puerto Rican, right? She's a person of color. Looking at her, you wouldn't consider her white. Now, like I told my best friend, I never knew that there were Hispanic people who, or Latinos in general, who would consider themselves white based on where they come from. I have several shades of Latinos in my family, and not one time did anyone ever call themselves white. The conversation is now different because now there are some that are classified as white. Now, Europeans, like people from Spain, yes, you would probably think so. Argentina, they have more European features that you would say, okay, well, that looks like a white person, right? But in Erica Mena's case, no, like we wouldn't consider her white. She's a person of color, she's brown or whatever have you. And it may have not been that big of a deal growing up and being a part of the community that I am in, right? And that's just the ignorance. But because it was said to her and she felt some type of way, Erica Mena, she got fired. So would that would it what Flo and Amara did, would that be considered a fireable offense because they're both Black? Colorism is colorism, right? Regardless of what shade or what ethnicity, if you say something derogatory, should they both be on the show? Now, if when Amara called her yellow, this was my interpretation, not justifying, but my interpretation. When she called her yellow, I felt like she was calling her yellow in reference to the shade that she looks like based on bleaching and also using turmeric, I guess. So, yes, the argument is whether or not these two should be fired from the show. Now, with that being said, I feel like Flo started it with the whole Black comment. If it's any form of being, any reason to fire anybody, I feel like these are two Black women shooting digs because they're, they're having relations with each other's partners. I don't know, it's stupid. So let's see. Flo did put out an apology letter, and it states, I want to take the opportunity to address the recent scene that aired, and this was on January the 21st, and aired, and the conversation it has sparked. I take full accountability for the words I said during that moment, and I deeply regret how they may have come across. I never intended to hurt or diminish anyone, and I sincerely apologize to anyone who felt offended or disrespected by my words. While I take responsibility for what I said, I want to acknowledge that the moment shown does not tell the full story. The way it was presented lacked important context, but that doesn't change the fact that my words had an impact, and for that I am truly sorry. Now, with this apology, I call BS, right? And this is why. I feel like even though there might be parts that were cut out of the scene, that whole part that you decided to say was left in. So regardless of what you chose to say, those exact things, regardless. So this is why I tell people all the time, you really have to think before you speak. I'm not a I'm not a person who apologizes, and this is why. Because I think before I speak. I am very intentional with my words. So if I'm saying something to you is because I mean it. I can't erase something that I mean like it's stupid, right? But I want to make sure that whatever I say to you as an individual, that I am not insulting your integrity, your mentality, your intelligence, or whatever. I'm not trying to do all of those things. And I'm not trying to curse you out. Like type of person who is going to say what they need to say without cursing. Oh, I'll do my best anyway to not curse, because things can get misconstrued in translation when you use those buffer words that have like really no meaning to it. So you're gonna get exactly what I mean, and I'm gonna say it exactly how I want to say it. There's a whole bunch of intention behind my words. So if I mean it, I'm just gonna, why apologize for it, right? So regardless, I feel like in this situation, regardless of what happened prior to that, still doesn't excuse for what was said. As a proud Black woman with deep ties to my Haitian heritage, I stand firmly against colorism. The product I sell is not a bleaching cream. It is designed to even skin tone and support healthy, glowing skin. I celebrate Black beauty in all its forms, and I am committed to empowering women of every shade. And that's the part that kind of threw me. She's Haitian. And I recall that in the beginning of the season, she had this issue with Trina, and Trina had said something that even took me back. And I don't even know why Trina's on the show, but Trina's Trina, so I'm assuming that's why. She had said something about cats, or cat eating or something or the other, something inappropriate, something that's associated with a stereotype of a Haitian individual. Why she was able to stay is beyond me. But even with that being said, if your culture is known to be targeted and being said certain things too, or being talked about in such a way, like, why don't you think before you open up your mouth to offend another individual, especially another Black person? But here we go. This experience has been a learning moment for me. It has reminded me of the power of words and the importance of using them carefully. Even in moments of frustration, moving forward, I will be more intentional and about my actions and continue to focus on unity, love, and positivity. Thank you to everyone who has supported me and understands my heart. I am grateful for the chance to grow from this and to stand stronger and the values I believe in. Sincerely, Florence L. Luche. All right, girl. I mean, I don't have no beef with you. It was in the heat of the moment. Them two dum-dums went back and forth, and they decided to hit below the belt. Now, again, I will stand strongly. I don't feel like Amara was targeting her skin tone per se. I felt like that was the dig. The girl selling turmeric cream. She feels like she bleaches her skin, or probably doesn't even feel like she bleaches her skin. She said it because she called her Black, whatever the hell. And there we are. But do I think either one of them should be fired? No, not for real. I don't think so. I don't think that it's on the same playing field as Erica Mena. And do I feel like Erica Mena should have been fired? No, not for real. Not for real. I don't. I feel like in the heat of the moment, she said something. Yeah, I just don't think that Erica Mena meant anything by that. But she's on Zeus Network now. She's trying to find love. Even though I saw her not so long ago, jumping fences to get to Safari. I don't know. It's a whole nother situation. I just wanted to speak on it because I feel like, in general, none of us should be saying anything negative about our skin tones. It should be irrelevant. Not that we don't see each other, but it should never be a dig. My Black isn't more beautiful than your Black skin. You see what I'm saying? And so for us to do it to each other, knowing that people are watching, is crazy business. So we overall need to do better as a community. But anywho, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you friends on the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.
Coming to kick ass, baby. Come on. Live and direct on your stereo set, the rousing track.